Hello, everyone, and welcome wherever and whenever you are to our little adventure tonight. So, welcome to Apochromatic Unlimited. I don't normally do this often, so please bear with me. For 2025 Black History TTRP fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds for Black Girl Rocks. Black Girl Rocks is an organization and movement dedicated to empowering and celebrating Black girls and women through programs focused on leadership, education, cultural enrichment, fostering self worth, and pride and empowerment. Each weekend of Black History Month, channels including Apochromatic Unlimited, Obsidian Brew, House of Dreams, and Nerdgasm Noir Network will be hosting actual plays and panels to raise funds and to show our passion, creativity, and unity. Now, we also want to give a big shout out to Transplanar RPG, Transplanar RGB, RGG, RPG is a award-winning all genders, uh, all transgender people of color dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-orient, anti-Orianistic multiverse. Say that three times fast. They are proud to support Apochromatic Unlimited Black History Month fundraiser and encouraging everyone to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people of the United States and the world fighting for freedom against colonialism, imperialism, white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. Now, if you want to donate to Black Girls Rock, please click the link in your chat where your donation will be tracked live, and also check out the links for any of our cast members. Now, to that end, let's begin the introductions. So, I'm Perry Clark. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in San Francisco Bay Area, and I'll be your flight controller tonight as we play our game. I'll tell you a bit more about the game in a little bit, but let's learn a bit more about these wonderful people who are going to be playing with me. And I'm going to ask them to introduce their name, where they can be found, and at least just what character they're playing. You'll learn more about those characters as we go forward. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Ran.
Hi, my name is Ran. I use she, her pronouns. I can be found on Blue Sky at Burdick Inspiration and on Instagram at Rhino Riddler. I will be playing Ariadne tonight.
Next up, Shoukat.
Hi, I am Shawnee of Showcat Cosplay. You can find me across all the social medias at Showcat Cosplay, where I'll be doing cosplay. And I am playing Sway Weaver tonight. MD.
And, and also Chantel.
Hi, I am the other Shawnee, but also Chantel. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Chantel B, on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. I think I'm also there as that too. And tonight I will be playing Pax Weaver.
Thank you. All right, so a bit about our game. So we will be playing in the Expanse universe, which is based off the book series by James S.A. Coe. And we're going to be playing using the Savage World system. Now, I know Green Ronin has created an Expanse system. Unfortunately, I have not had the chance to learn it, but I do know Savage World, and we're going to be playing with that a little loose on some of the rules. Now, for informational purposes, and so you have a sense of where we're playing, we are basing this more off the television show than the books. And for purposes for you to have a sense of where we are in the TV show, this is taking place between seasons 1 and 2. So I'll try to have some references there so you can get the timeline as such. But otherwise, why don't we go ahead and get into the game? So, our story begins on Earth with Roberta and Elliot, two parents struggling to raise their children on an Earth that is at crisis and environmental issues. Their three children, Jameson, Bishop, and Florin, bright, smart, strong, but loving children. all take different options when they came. Sorry about that. When certain options came up to them. Jameson found himself being called to Mars, where they're being terraforming, and the sciences of that. Florin chose to go out into the belt and build the expanding reach of humanity, while Bishop remained on Earth to care for their aging parents and the legacy of Earth. But something has changed. Something that will hopefully bring these three branches of the family back together. Three branches that have, over time and history, found themselves stretched to dealing with survival, dealing with the ideology that becomes to expand world of being either an earther, a Martian, or a belter. But I think a most profound question that will become for these three long distant cousins, are they still family? So you find yourself aboard the ship. It's been 36 hours since you left Lunar Station. You, for you, Adriani, this is normal space travel. But for the other two, this has been an experience. And you're just learning to hear the sounds of the ship, which you noticed that roar of the engine seeming to back down. We're slowing. And you can just feel that slight tingle of gravity lessening. When suddenly the ship is slammed and you are rocked from where you are. You immediately feel gravity is gone, the thrust is gone, the ship is listing as all of the items that were loose in your room begin to float up, just as you are floating up as well. What do you do?
Don't freak out yet. We're still breathing, which means we've got time to fix this. We just need to have a handle. Is everyone still all right?
What's wrong? What's happened?
Is this normal?
Oh, we just
And
have
just
to
that,
take a closer look.
and just that moment, uh, Sway, your fleshy floats by you, twisting in this odd angle, smiling at you.
I'm gonna reach to grab it and pull it close. Handle something to grab onto, and lower myself in, tap my boots to activate them to lock me down.
I do the same. No frog.
Yeah, but in this case, as you're in that particular moment, you're putting lotion on, which is now just gloop, 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 in that way liquids do in zero G.
It's gonna be all right, everyone. In the old stories that I read, Odysseus made it past storms, monsters, and gods. We just hit a small bump. No sea serpents here.
And that's when
This
the
one's
alarm
small,
system
Ariane?
is going off.
Great. So that's definitely more than just a little thing. That could be a sea monster. That could be a sea monster.
I think. She is freaking out on the inside, but since she is supposedly the experienced one here, so she's trying to keep it together for the others.
Okay. Give me a spirit roll. So, just for those who are not familiar with the Savage World system, they're going to be rolling two dice. One of which is their wild die, which is a D6, and then whatever their spirit rating number is. And what die is that for you?
6.
Okay, so you'll be rolling two D6s. Your minimum range here is trying to get to at least a 4 for success.
So I rolled 2 3s with a total of 6.
Okay, so in this case, you actually only got a 3. So even though you're trying to keep that composure and keep it inside, some of it's coming out.
You don't sound so sure.
I'm not. Well, I
What do we
don't
need
get
to do?
I don't I don't know. I need more data. I need more information, I think.
Best
Okay.
bet is to get to the flight deck.
Oh,
Let's
I
get
don't feel
there
so
then.
great.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Sean, sorry, Sway. Give me a vigor roll.
Okay, so wild die and a d4.
Hmm. Again, four is your
7. Or,
mech.
well, 6 and a 1.
Okay, so this is the six on the wild die.
Yes.
Roll that again for me, please. So whenever
Oh,
a six comes,
exploding?
yes, it
Mhm.
explodes.
And then a 3.
Okay, so you got a total of 9 for success. So even though you feel that moment of the queasiness comes up, that training that you have had so much on the medical field and so forth pushes it down. Plus,
Right.
you've also taken some of the anti-queasy medication, so that's helping as well. But those ice veins of there's a critical situation, someone is likely injured, is kicking in.
Okay, I'll grab my med kit. Should we suit up? I know we have atmosphere right now, but
Yes.
better safe than sorry.
Doesn't
Yes.
hurt to be prepared.
Oh,
Okay.
the your suits are down in the docking bay where you entered the ship in the first place, and you're up in the crew quarter area.
Are we, is it opposite directions to the flight deck and the docking
Yes,
bay?
yes, and
Oh,
just
good.
for information purposes, the ships in this world use thrust gravity, so the ships themselves aren't laid out horizontally. They're built more like skyscrapers. So the engine's at the back, and as long as it's thrusting, you've got gravity pushing you down. So think of it like you're built
Right.
crawling your way through a skyscraper on its side.
Okay.
I can grab the suits and meet you guys on the flight deck.
All right.
Are you sure?
Uh,
Let's not split up. We'll
okay.
go, suit up, flight deck.
All right. So give
That was so
me
logical, Pax. Thank you.
give me for all of you, give me agility rolls as you begin to, and for at least two of you, the first time moving around in 0G. Even though you got the boots on, which gives you at least a +1 to your roll.
5 and a 4.
Okay, so that's a success.
What was the addition?
+1.
So
16.
if it
Very good.
if it explodes again, I just keep swirling, right?
Yep, keep rolling until you don't get the max on that die.
Okay, that's a
Mhm.
17 total.
Okay, so
Nice.
you are the most practiced with this. So you take to it easily, as all of you do. Don't know what it is, but just something about that makes it possible. Even though you feel that weightlessness on the rest of your body, the salinity that these boots are giving you towards the deck gives reassurance as you make your way out, dodging past all the little floating debris and managing past the gloop of the lotion that is just filling out of the bottle.
I'm gonna close it before I. It's just I gotta close it. I don't know when I'm getting more. I gotta close that.
Okay.
Let's
Not
As you
wrap
just
it.
we can't do that.
I'll pull out like a plastic bag and just like kind of catch it almost like a butterfly and just kind of close it and let it
Thank
float
you.
in the air.
Professor Hopper, it's not safe. I'm gonna put you away.
All right, you make your way out into the hallway and towards the deck, the ladder that leads to the lower decks where you guys entered the ship originally and where the spacesuits are held at. The alarm is constantly going off, the red light flashing as you make your way. Power seems to still be on, but there's some places where it's starting to fluctuate as you have lights coming on and off. But you pass through that section easily as you get down towards the hole. And the alarm is sounding even more louder, and you're beginning to hear slightly garbled the audio system on making an announcement. It's warning, warning, or every time you're not able to hear the full sounds of whatever is going on board your ship. And your ship's name is the Mamiwata, and it's a small freighter.
Do we have any sort of walkie-talkie on us that we could communicate with the captain or anybody who is the navigator?
You
Anything
have
like
your
that?
kind of, and again in the Spanish universe, we have sort of like a cell phone that's made of glass. It's the
Yeah.
your comm deck.
I'll use my comm to talk to my direct like boss, I'd say.
Hmm. That would be
And just
Captain Rosa.
Captain Rosa. Captain, is everything all right?
No
While
response.
climbing down the stairs. Captain, come in.
No,
Ask if someone's injured.
Is anyone injured? Nothing.
no
I
response.
got nothing.
No response.
We gotta be quick. Get your suit
Yes.
and we have to go take a look.
As you make your way down, you can see that the bulkhead has actually sealed the cargo bay where the suits are. And you can see there's a meter on the side of the door which shows the oxygen level is dropping slowly, but it's dropping.
That's a problem.
Yes.
And at that
Can you get
point,
through?
in the doorway of the cargo hold hatch, behind that extra bulkhead that is designed to seal to keep atmosphere in, you can see the face of Abraham, one of your shipmates, who is trapped in there as the oxygen is leaving the cargo hold.
I'm gonna make a dash towards it and try to open it and let him out, if if at all possible.
Are the suits
Okay.
through there?
Yep, on the other side of that bulkhead.
We all need to get in. Open it. Can you open it?
Can I open it?
Go ahead and make me a repair roll. Because the door's not responding immediately, because you're gonna have to override it because it's in safety protocols.
So my repair is a D8,
Mhm.
and so it will be an D8 plus the wild die.
Correct.
Okay.
Can I see anything else going on in there? Like, is he trying to get to a suit? Is he trying to put one on? Like, what is
Uh,
Abraham doing in there?
so at first he was looking at you, and you can see that he was trying to make his way to the suit. He's actually partially suited up, but if you can get him out sooner, he doesn't have to put the suit on. Whatever the breach is, it's at least in this area. So if you can get him at the door open and get him out, and then reseal, that'll stop the air leak.
So Ariadne starts punching in stuff in the airlock and wriggling the thing open. I got a 16.
Okay, so after a couple of passes and a couple of bypasses, you hear the protective bulkhead pop and slide open, and then the other doors to the cargo hold slide open. He dashes through, and he's like, "Quickly, seal it, seal it! So we can't lose any more atmosphere.
Well, the captain isn't responding. Go check on
Seal
him.
the doors! Seal the doors!"
To the door.
Yeah.
Okay, and they seal shut as he's now gasping in deeper air. Oh, thank you.
What happened?
I don't know. We hit something or something hit us. I know we were rocked, but whatever it is, definitely hit some shrapnel because it's a small hole. Um, right now, the suits are offline. We got to get to the bridge and find out what happened.
So no suits then?
At the moment,
suit.
other than what I was in the midst of putting on when you showed up.
Right. It's all right. I'm so glad we came here.
Do ships not
Abra-
have patch kits?
Generally, we do, but in the situation I was having, atmosphere was going out faster than I could get to the patch kit. I figured putting on the suit was faster, because then I could at least take the time to patch the thing.
Well, let's walk and talk. No time to waste. I want
Yeah,
to check
yeah,
on the captain.
yeah. Abraham Yu is a fairly athletic man of Asian ancestry. He keeps a very short buzz cut and makes it easier for him to get into the suit. But you can see just a couple of the tattoos that are on him as He's originally born on Earth, but he's found his way to being amongst the belt.
So we're walking and talking. I'm just like, okay, now follow. All right. You weren't without a. Okay, you look fine. You seem okay.
Okay, give me a medicine check for him.
Uh, mm,
So you're going to roll your smarts plus the wild die, and then you're going to add the bonus of your medical skills. Which,
okay.
if I remember correctly, I think you get a +2 to that.
Yes. So. E6.
Yep, +2.
1, 6. A 1, and then +2.
Okay, so which one was the one on?
The 1 was on my actual. Oh, my spirit. My smarts die. Yeah.
Okay, so that one would actually cancel out that
Exploding.
6. No,
Oh,
well,
okay.
no, because you got it exploding, you get to roll it again.
Another 6.
Keep rolling.
A 4.
Okay, so that is 2 6s and a 4. That would be 16 minus 1 because of the one you got on the other die, plus your other 2. That still brings you to I'll put it 13 plus the 2, 15. So successes. You can see that he's responding. There may be signs because you're seeing some bloodshotness in his eyes that he might have be on the edge of hypoxia, but I think you got him out in time. He's just going to need to spend a little more time in the oxygen rich environment to get back. He should be fine in another hour or so, but he might be a little woozy.
Got to you in time, buddy.
And that's where, especially then, you start noticing that it does look like there's a bruise on the side of his head. So he did get hit by something, and probably in the flying debris when the gravity went, or when the initial hit happened.
I mean, you're sturdy enough. A little shouldn't bother you too much later.
All right. Well, let's get to the bridge. As you make your way through, again, the gravity that loosened, and you can hear again the areas that were sort of blinking in and out. It's like, that's not good. Something hit at least one of the power conduits.
Yeah.
At least the reactor is good. We're not getting any radiation warnings going off either.
Ari is continuously using the comm to try to contact the captain. Coming
No
in.
response.
This is Ari, captain.
No response. So you make your way up to the flight deck, where you can hear the sounds of something is sparking and arcing in on the flight deck itself, and its lighting is going in and out as the emergency lighting is kicked on. Some of the panels are still got power clearly, but there has been definitely damage inside the command deck.
Is there anyone else here?
So are you entering the command deck fully?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can see floating in the midst of this on and off light the captain's body, and there is signs of blood floating around him. He's a Latino man, uh, fairly stoutly built. He's usually the ship's engineer, even though he owns the ship and is commanding it. So whatever happened, he was on the bridge at the time of this. Beyond him, you can see the ship's pilot. Alice is just sitting motionless like this in front of an exploded console,
Oh,
and
shite.
more blood is in the air.
Shit.
And I just
Okay.
realized I forgot to do the content warning for the show as well. So we're going to pause there for a moment and realize and let you know that yes, blood is going to be something that is seen in this game, as well as issues of interpersonal relationship and drama and trauma, as well as dealing with spacewalks, agoraphobia, uh, classism, and so forth and so on. I think those are the main ones. So back to our adventure. You can see that there is blood floating in the air around Alice as well. What do you do?
Is there anything you can do? Is he still alive?
We've got to
Run
find that
toward.
out. And I
Is-
will. Head over to the
I'm going to
lobby.
hold an arm out to stop them moving forward. Is there any sign of what caused this in here right now? Is there someone in here that caused this? Is there something in here that caused this that we can see from here?
Make me a notice roll.
You said the console in front of the pilot looks like it exploded, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 6.
Okay. On your wild eye or your
Oh no, 6 total.
okay. Yep. Does not look like there's anyone hiding in any shadows or so forth because of the way the lighting is going on. I mean, there are some places where you see shadow, but whenever there's a moment where the lighting comes back on, you can clearly see no one's there. But there does look like something might have punctured or damaged, maybe even a feedback that caused the electrical shorting that may have caused the console to explode in their face.
Pax, please. They could still be
Yes.
alive.
Okay. Go, go, go.
And Abraham is moving along with you just as quickly. Which one are you going to first?
Whoever's closest.
That would be the captain. He's floating in the air.
I'll go to the other.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna run towards the console and try to see if I could fix anything. Because
Okay.
if the pilot isn't controlling the ship, we're gonna be in trouble.
Right. All right. So the rolls I'm going to ask you each to make. We're going to look at a notice and repair for you checking the console. Notice for both of you in checking the individuals you're at, and I will give Sway you a extra D2 because of your medical skills and because Abraham is going with you first to the captain.
That's an 8 on my notice roll.
Okay. So as you get up to Alice, as you can see them floating free, I'm not going to go into the gruesome details, but you can see that when the console exploded outward, metal fragments hit them in some very not good places. When you check the pulse, they are dead.
Did I know how? So I've known. How did I know this pilot?
You'd met them 36 hours earlier when you first boarded this ship.
Once?
Only once you met this
Like,
ship.
okay.
Well, I mean, you met them in within the 36 hours since you guys launched
Yeah.
from Lunar Station.
Okay. I will do my best to close eyes, make I don't know, make a more gentle pose, I guess, even though they're flying around.
Right. Well, they're
And
just
then
actually strapped in
say
the chair.
they're strapped in the chair. Right.
Yeah, they're sort of
Okay.
floating like this,
Oh, then I'm
strapped
gonna need to
down.
remove them from the chair.
All right. So go ahead and make me a spirit roll to make sure you can maintain your composure as you've come to see this dead body in front of you.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that, we're going to go over to Sway and Abraham. As you get to the captain, you can also see there. So, I mean,
12.
because you're looking for it and you have the skills, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you. But what did you get for your roll?
12.
12. Yeah, you very much, because of your medical experience, know to look. There's multiple lacerations across a portion of his body. It looked like he had possibly been leaning over on the side when to where the pilot was when the console exploded. So his entire left side has got shrapnel and is bleeding out as well. Looks like the pilot took the brunt of it. He got a portion of it, but it was enough to knock him unconscious, and he is bleeding from those wounds.
Pax.
He's still alive.
Oh. Oh, okay. I will get right to it trying to patch his wounds.
All right, so give me a
Pax, can you help
medical.
me?
Are they
1
still
second.
alive?
Abraham's here to help. He's also partial medic, so he's going to actually help you. So he'll give you a +1 on your roll as well. Pax, you're still dealing with what you're discovering at the body.
Still has a
With
pulse.
the pilot. as you announce out. So you all hear that. Adriana or Ariana, what are you getting?
Ariadne's got some crazy rolls. Are you ready?
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
you said notice and repair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a 13 for notice
Okay.
and a 32 for repair.
So the ship's fine, and off we go.
Okay. So with that roll, you're immediately assessing and actually getting one of the engineering diagnostics to come up. You've been hit with some sort of shrapnel, or at least it looks like something massive hit the ship, but it was a glancing blow. But it was enough to damage not just and shrapnel out parts. That is probably why the air system went out, at least in the cargo bay, because you're losing pressure there, and down in the reactor core, at least the atmosphere. It looks like your maneuvering thrusters are also offline, as well as comm. So
That
you can
explains it.
broadcast inside the ship, but not outside the ship at the moment. Otherwise, the rest of the ship is intact. But the way that the damage hit, it caused a power surge, which is what was connected to the maneuvering system that blew up the console, piloting console, right in front of Alice and the captain.
Is there anything she can do about it?
You can repair it with time. You're just going to have to figure out what you're prioritizing.
Okay. Well, she's gonna prioritize the thrust to be able to power the ship. But while she's doing that, she's going to use the comm to broadcast to the ship. Um, if you're hearing this, please remain calm and try to activate your boot. We're
I'll just
trying
let
to.
you know, you guys and your other 3 crewmates are only ones on the ship. There's a total of
Oh.
6 of you total. Well, now 5 of you total. It's a
So
small freighter.
it's just Abraham with us.
Mm-hmm. And the captain. Now,
Can you patch him up this way?
Working on it.
I
now,
think this is just up to us now.
now, here's the thing you also know. And of course, you don't know how much his wounds are damaged, but you're going to need to get that gravity on if he's going to have a chance to survive. Because otherwise, in 0G, without that thrust, that blood's going to start pooling in his wounds.
Okay. And well, in that case, that's the priority right there.
Yes.
All right.
Fixing the gravity first.
Sway, they do have a small sick bay. Abraham suggests we get them down there. We can sterilize and start treating him properly, more so. But he does have a pulse, and we got to get him moving.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so the 2 of you start pulling him away towards the sick bay. Pax, what are you doing? Or what was your composure
I
roll?
got a 7.
Okay, so you're holding it together as you've just shown respect to Alice.
Mhm.
But you're gonna know you're gonna have to get her out of the chair as Ariadne is pushing their way in to try and figure out what to do next.
Yes. I will do that. Yeah, remove him from the chair. And I don't know what to do after that. What do I do? What do you do? What do you do with bodies?
And before we answer that question, let's flash back. As you are confronted with this very much difference and change in environments from where you were on Mars, in your nice, comfortable lab inside the domes of the Martian Republic, Confederate Martian Congressional Congress. You were sitting at lunch with your father and Hazel. When your father was immediately called to a meeting of the Science Council, as news that Eris station had left its orbit and right now was heading for Earth with no visible signs of propulsion driving it. What's the conversation you have as he rushes out of the room with Hazel?
do I know of? All I know is that Eros was headed for Earth.
Hmm.
Do I know that I'm about to go on this journey?
Not yet.
Okay. Well,
An ordinary, for all intents, of ordinary day in your life here on Mars in your lab. You're taking a break from the project you were working on to attend this lunch. It
yeah.
was one of the ones that you generally do periodically with Hazel and your dad, especially because you've been trying to, well, especially at Hazel's behest. This was a way of trying to continue to bond with them and your father.
I hope Earth is okay. Uh, but I don't know why he had to go running off about it. How's your day been?
Shaka, why don't we have you be Hazel?
It's been a good day, a productive day, and I am always proud when you put in the effort to attend these lunches. So that alone has made me happy for today.
I'm glad. I am trying.
I see that.
Do you... I know what you want, but do you think that we are ready? Really?
I do. I'm I'm always as honest as I can be with you. You know that. I am I do think we're ready. I think that there's a lot that can be gained from the steps we're taking, especially for you, and in turn for us, for Mars.
For Mars?
As you're looking up and you're about to speak more to Hazel, you notice standing behind her in the room, there's no sign of sound of anyone stepping in, is a woman, Earth, human, probably about 5 foot tall, maybe just a little smaller, an older black woman dressed in a rainbow of fabrics, but she's got these, what looks like shells forming a headdress around her, and she has these cataract eyes, and she looks over at you, smiling.
Hazel, do you know her?
Hazel, when you look behind you, there's no one there.
Has has today been super stressful on you, Pax?
Not more than usual. Not more than usual. Why do you ask?
Um, well, I don't know who you're speaking about. Maybe they just stepped out a minute, though.
Are they still there?
They're gone. You didn't hear them leave. They were just standing there smiling at you. An old black woman. From their features, probably looked like she was actually from the continent of Africa.
I just stay right here. I'll be right back. And I get up and I'm gonna try to just go out the room to see if that person is still here and just left.
You step out into the hallway and there's no one there.
shake my head, go back in. Sorry.
Let's I guess make the most of our lunch until your father returns.
Yeah.
And then there's the chirp of your comm unit.
I check it.
Message, someone's waiting on the other side to respond.
Is it someone I know?
No, it's not a number you recognize.
Do you mind?
Oh, not at all.
I will answer right there, right then.
Hello, am I speaking to Pax Weaver, please?
Yes.
Ah, excellent. I'm Martin Cole of Protogen Corporation. I wanted to talk to you about a project that we have that might interest you and your particular skills. It kind of involves some genetic data that might connect to some of your other family. Is this a good time for us to have a conversation? I have an offer for
An offer. Who is this? What?
you. As I said, my name is Martin. I'm from the Protogen Corporation.
Do, how do you know who I am?
Well, we can discuss that more if you're interested in our offer.
Yes.
And we flash back to you unbuckling Alice from her seat at the pilot console and slowly moving them out. As you ask that question of Ariadne about where do we store a body?
We don't. Sometimes we just have to let the space take them. That's what we have to do sometimes.
Can I roll spirit?
Sure.
Okay. I say I'm fine.
We say a prayer for them, and I hope they find their way home somewhere.
Right. All right. I'll push them out the room. We need gravity. We need gravity now.
Right, yeah, working on it.
All right. As you are taking Alice's body off of the flight deck, Ariadne, you begin to sit down into working on figuring out this mess of what's the best way to get some form of thrust and piloting controls back up. It's going to take a bit since this console was destroyed. You might be able to use one of the other consoles to begin to get them powered up and as an auxiliary piloting station. Probably easily also done from the engineering console.
Right. She's gonna try to use the engineering console to override it,
Mhm.
to just control the flight from there instead of the piloting station.
And as you begin to work on that project, let's flash back with you to a day on Cirrus with your beloved as you're in the curio shop bartering with the person there that you often get your books from. So, Shao-Kat, I'm going to have you be the book handler, and Chantel, we're gonna have you be the partner. What is your partner's name again?
Althea, but
Althea.
I call her Tia.
And for our book dealer, you've got a new edition of The Man of La Mancha, Don Quixote.
The second this came in, I knew I was going to see your face.
It's fate. It must be. Does it also come with the CD with all of the songs?
If we're lucky, Does it?
Possibly, but the question is, can you fill the price? And Tia, you know Adriatne's interest in the books and sometimes what they will spend for those if she don't barter.
It could come with it, for
Well, you know,
such a valued customer.
I've been trying to rig together a player for it, and I think I've just about done. And if it comes with it, I
Sorry,
can test it out.
please.
What?
Don't spend everything we have.
There's so much we can learn from these books, Tia. There's a whole world inside of it. We have
There's
so
a whole
little.
world out here.
We have so little. There's nothing
And,
for us.
and so you want to
And
have less?
whenever I read, I feel like I could be a heroine in an ancient tale, and we can be anything. I can be anything.
You are ridiculous.
Well,
They know what they like.
for instance, I was reading this story about Atlanta, who competed in all of the greatest competition against the gods, and she reminded me of you. You were like that too. You were like an ancient hero. That's why I love
Tia,
you.
just to let you know, at this particular moment, ships from the OPA, which you're affiliated with, have left on a mission to Eros because it's moving. And there's been a call, especially from right now the controversial figure James Holden, asking for their help to blow up Eros before it makes its way to Earth.
When did that call happen?
The ship's probably left within the last 6 hours because they're going to have to blast to catch up with Eros as it's moving faster and faster.
You look troubled.
There is more going on in the world than, what is it, Don
Don
Quixote?
Quixote.
And Don Quixote.
He dares to dream impossible dreams. And that's what I want to do for both of us.
Dreaming impossible dreams is wonderful, as long as you know that they're dreams.
Dreams can come true if you work towards it.
I
That's not
dream
a
of
dream,
more
that's a
water
goal.
and more food. A dream you can help me with. We can fulfill each other's dreams.
What can I trade you for it? Maybe I could help you fix something for the book. Maybe I could just read one chapter at a time wherever you're here. And
I'll tell you what, I see that this is maybe the littlest bit of contention between you two. So how about this? If you truly have rigged up a player, I keep the audio components, but we can listen to them together. But you have to purchase the book.
I wouldn't mind that. This should be something that everyone here can enjoy. What do you think, Althea?
I think you are ignoring the world to live in a book.
The world can be too hard sometimes. I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. You want to try to fix what's wrong with the system, with your organization, and I admire you for that. But I just want to fix things one bolt, one wire, one person at a time. I will always
So
believe in
join.
you. You have to believe in me too.
At the book.
Look at
I
that.
know,
All happy.
I know I read it to you every night. How about that?
Sure.
And you
Sure.
pay the fee and begin to turn to walk out of the shop when you see standing in the doorway the short African woman I described earlier, standing there, cataract eyes, looking at you, Ariadne, and smiling. No one else seems to be bothered as someone walks by her and doesn't even notice them.
Is there anything about her that I in any way recognize?
No, other than she's clearly human. She's way shorter. I mean, you're literally looking at her eye to eye because she's as short as you, but she looks older. The salt and pepper in her hair is old, and even the style of her dress does not match anything a belter would wear in this day and age. I mean, the clothing, the cloth does not even look like it's been put through a modern machine.
She
It's
just
plain.
looks straight at her and will just say, with a very distant look in her eye, perhaps, "You are beautiful."
She just smiles at you as the two of you hear her say that.
Thanks, but you're facing the wrong way.
Well, you are beautiful too. Well, but did you see that? Did you see her
See who?
there? That
And when you turn back, she's gone.
oh, she's gone. I think.
You mean I had another customer in here?
No, I'm not sure. It's just an elder, I think, wearing some
And you're
sort of ceremonial dress, I suppose.
like out of a storybook.
She reminds me of Athena.
And at
Hmm.
that point, your comm goes off.
Oh, excuse me. Um, she'll pick it up.
Hello, I may I speak with Ariadne Weaver, please?
That's me. Come in.
Hello, I'm Catherine Andrins of the Protogen Corporation. I'd like to speak with you about an opportunity.
What kind of opportunity?
Well, one that requires connection with perhaps your extended family of the genetic nature. We were hoping that potentially we could gather you together for some questions if you're available.
You
We're
meant to
also
say you.
willing to pay for opportunities of transport too.
You meant to say you found my family.
Yes, well, your extended family.
Yeah, they're willing to pay. They found my family. I think this could be very good for us. Um, right. So, what do I do? What do I need to do for it?
Well, why don't you come over to my office here on Cirrus? We can talk out some more of the details.
That sounds great.
And we return to you beginning to reroute those controls to the engineering station. And I think I already asked you for that role, so you're doing it with the swift hands you've done many times in what you've worked on this ship and others, as well as in the docking port.
Um, is this the same role from before, or is this a new
I'm
role?
I'm
Repair.
going to just go ahead and allow the same roles as before.
Okay.
You're skilled and practiced at this. Meanwhile, down in the med bay, the small med bay, Abraham is immediately going over and starting to pull gauze and materials and such handy. But your experience, Sway, you know immediately once he's strapped down, you're immediately calling out for the various medical tools needed to begin to pull the shrapnel out, as let alone getting a basic medical scan, because some of these might have just also nicked arteries. So you have to move carefully and swiftly.
I probably should have done more practicing modules about doing this in zero gravity, but we work with what we got and we use what we know. I hope they get gravity back soon, though, Abraham. This is a little out of my depth.
Else, right now, it's better that there's two of us here doing able to do that. Otherwise, it would have just been me. And if you hadn't gotten me out of the airlock, it wouldn't be anyone at all.
Well, I actually should defer to you since you've worked in this kind of environment before.
I'm happy to help, but right now, I think you got the hands, and I'm here to assist you.
Did you? Uh, Obviously I'm new. Did you know the captain well? No, do you know the captain well? He's still here. He still has a pulse.
Yep. We've been together quite a while. Hell, he was the one who gave me the first chance and also paid for my medical training.
Paid for your medical training?
Oh, yeah. You're out in the belt. You learn as many things as you can, including how to be crawl skilled. Most of the time, I'm dealing with loading and unloading the ship and doing some of the helping with the repairs. Need someone else also to cover medical. So I got the basic EMT response stuff. But I think from what you've told me, you're the better one at this, and I'm here to help.
Well, I mean, paying for somebody's medical, that's really generous. Do belters often do that for one another?
Kind of like what your best friend Soraka helped you through your
Sucra,
medical. Sukra, sorry. Sukra
because she
helped you
was so
through
sweet.
your medical days, let alone how many times you crashed on her couch while you were doing your residency.
Well, it's
And you're
nice to know
visiting
that
them.
generosity's throughout the universe, not just on Earth.
Hmm. And you're remembering that moment as you walk down the hallway to visit them. And you step into their room to see them lying there as their doctor happens to be doing a check in. So, Ariadne, why don't we have you play the doctor
Okay.
as they are attending to Sukra as she's laying there. The TV is blaring as you hear news just in that the Eros asteroid has diverted to Venus and is on track to actually collide with it. Earth is spared.
That is good news.
It is. Sometimes there's good news and everyone benefits, and then sometimes you're in a coma and your world is spared, but you're not there to see that or experience things or talk to your best friend.
And
But we're all
especially the
still
moment
here.
and especially the moment you need after the message you got this morning.
Are you all right?
I am. This is these things happen and I'll be fine. Losing my job is nothing compared to a planet potentially being collided into in the grand scheme of things, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's no change. I thought you should know, but no news is good news, right?
If you got news of openings, I'm looking for that information too, I suppose. That would be a big conflict of interest, I guess, working here.
When we need whenever we need staff, we would need people with expertise. I'll keep an eye out if something were to open up.
Thank you. Thank you for taking exceptional care of Sukra.
She seems like someone who deserves a second or third chance, and so do you.
Thanks.
Hey, Sukra is going to wake up. All right? Just, you have to keep believing in that.
I will. And I'd say from doctor to doctor, you know when people are deceiving themselves.
There's, I think the doctor will sort of pick up on that because that's something that they also know. Um, there is deceiving ourselves sometimes, but there is also hope. Miracles do happen, you know. And
I haven't seen a miracle here in a while. I've been thinking maybe I'd seek them somewhere else for a bit.
no matter how advanced our science of medicine has progressed, no one has ever explained miracles. They happen, and they happen to good people. That's what I believe. When I signed up for pursuing my degree, when I signed up for this job here, and when I see you, when I see the way you look at Sukra, even after all these 4 years has it been, you just keep coming back here, and we're going to take good care of.
If there's one thing that consistently feels like home, it's Sucra.
It's a blessing finding someone who makes you feel like that.
You know, miracles may not be explained, but if anyone's gonna do it, it'll probably be Mars.
And they never let us forget about it. Wow. If only we could just work together sometimes peacefully. That would be nice.
It would be. I'd like to see it for myself, honestly.
Yeah.
A nurse appears at the doorway. Doctor, we need your assistance in the other room, please.
I'll be right there. I'll see you around.
Do no harm.
Yeah, of course.
Just you and me, Susie. Like always. I would love for you to wake up and console me. I know I'll always have you, but that job meant something to me. I I don't really know where to go from here, and I'm just thinking that if there's nowhere to go here, maybe I should figure out a way to be somewhere truly different for a little bit.
As you hold her hand and contemplate this, in the far corner of the room, you notice the short African woman standing, looking at you, smiling.
Oh, I didn't see you come in. Hi.
She just smiles at you.
Uh, and then Sway would sign hi and try that instead.
At that moment, after you do the signing, your comm unit goes off. As you look down to at it and then back up, she's gone.
That hello?
Hello, I'm calling to speak to Miss Sway Weaver.
This is Sway.
Hello, I'm Martin Princeton Price of the Protogen Corporation. I'd like to see if you are available for an opportunity.
Yeah, I am. I'm available.
Lovely. Why don't we set up a video conference call and I can talk in more detail about this and your connection to some of your other family members?
Uh, okay. I probably should get a lot more details, so I am going to listen, but I have not consented to any opportunities yet. But I am open to talking.
Completely understandable. Uh, would you be able to have the conference in, say, 30 minutes? If it's a more convenient place for you to do it, or we can do it now.
Uh, yeah, give me 30 minutes.
Very good. I will call you back at this number. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Sure.
And we come back to you in the Mamiwata's medical center as you are pulling the shrapnel carefully and applying the sealing gauze and cauterizing what wounds you can in the captain's body as he's there, sedated. Abraham is collecting the pieces of metal, taking them off the sides as he skillfully hands you the necessary items to get the captain stable.
All right. We're making progress.
As each of you go
Ariadne, how
into
are we looking out there?
I'm getting there, I think.
as you're getting more systems online, there's a moment where you connect in the sensors for part of the maneuvering system as a ping comes up on your system that shows targeting, targeting lost, targeting, targeting lost, targeting, and it's going cycling on, off, as something is showing up on your sensors and the LiDAR outside the ship.
Something's out there. Not really sure what it is yet, but something's following us, or I'm gonna try to get a closer look. Is there
It
any
will,
way? Yeah,
it'll divert you from working on getting the thrust on to get an idea of what is out there and what is targeting you.
Focus on the thrust.
if something is
This is overcoms. Gravity, please.
Yeah, focus on the gravity, focus on the forward thrust.
if something is targeting us,
If something is
whatever I'm
targeting us, we still
whatever I'm
need to be
working
able
on.
to move.
Right. How much have I been able to work through? Like, is the gravity back on?
No, you need thrust to be able to get the gravity back on.
Okay. Yeah,
So you
I'm
need to be
still working on
moving.
it. Yeah. How far along am I?
You'd
Yes.
manage to just get the thing switched over to the console. It's probably you've only been working on it for maybe 15 minutes at max.
Okay.
But you've been able to get things over to the console, and as you were making those reconnections, that's when the sensor system came on, and the uh, basically warning system indicated we're being targeted, we're not being targeted, we're being targeted, we're not being targeted. As you were beginning to see, as you continue to get that system coming on more and the sequencing as you were moving everything over, which would have been a key system on the piloting
Mhm.
console. Um, you're
Is
picking up.
there
No,
is
go ahead.
there is there anything I could do to kind of release some sort of signal from the ship in the form of a Morse code or some sort of communication to?
You'd have to redirect your efforts to getting the comm system back on.
Okay. I'm just gonna continue working on the thrusts, but use the comm to communicate with the other two. Pax,
Yes.
Sway, Abraham, if you can
Yeah,
hear, someone is trying to target us or something. I can't divert my attention to anything like that, but if you
Can
could
I?
figure out what it is or what they are, what they're trying to do.
Can Can I do that? Do I know that? Do I know how to do that?
Once you store the body, you can come up and assist.
Yeah. Uh, I can't space this. So I will leave the body somewhere or try to.
You could put her in her own cabin
I'll put her in a cabin.
and strap the body down.
Yeah. And then come back. What can I do?
You just see Ariadne sort of like really focused and mumbling to herself. Hephaestus, master of forging flame, lend me your strength. Sparks fly. Let me shape this ship back to life with my own two hands. Oh, you're here. Well, I don't know what it is that's targeting us. Something is, or someone.
Okay. I would like to try
One
to figure out
Okay.
who or
One
what.
of the other consoles is still working. Since you've gotten some of the systems back online, you can probably do analysis at that other console.
I would like to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead and make me a let's go with a smarts roll. Meanwhile, Sway, you're continuing to do the surgery necessary. He is going to be all right. He's going to be unconscious for a while. It looks like he's going to need blood. As Abraham had mentioned, we are similar blood types, so you can set up a transfusion for me, but it's going to tie me down for a while.
Ooh, I don't know if I should start the transfusion process until the thrust is back, though.
That's a risk, but if we're going to get him at least conscious, he might also be able to help us with fixing.
All right, I hear you.
8 total.
Okay. So you're able to get the system further online, and as you can see, it's tied in also to the flight system as well, so they know what debris is in front of you. And what you're beginning to get as the system comes online is beginning to do sweeps of the area. You can see that there is the remains of another ship that has been blasted, and the debris is floating around outside of them. Beyond that, there is another structure. As you begin to tune the system a bit more to pay attention to whatever that is what's giving you the target, no target, target, no target systems.
Focus on thrust, then focus on changing our direction. Send us in a different direction. We are
Gosh.
just in a field of debris at the moment.
What do you see?
A ship, well, remains of ships.
Can you tell what happened to them?
Can I tell what happened to them? They were just exploded. There's just
You can tell that
pieces.
there's pieces of them. Some are still in large enough intact to say, that they're a ship. They've had large holes blown into them. Looks like
Something.
it might have been like a rock hopper. You know what that is in canon wise, but yeah.
You think whatever hit them was the thing that hit us as well earlier?
I think what hit them is. I think they hit us. I think bits of them hit us. But we need to
Gosh.
get away from all of it. We can't keep hitting bits of them.
What kind of ship are they? Can you tell?
Rock hopper.
But there's something else out there.
Oh no.
Is this
Another
like
item.
arrows?
Is this just like
It
arrows?
shouldn't. It shouldn't. It's not. No, it's not. It's not. Is it?
So in this case, give me
Is a
another
space
roll
station
with your
falling on us?
to see if you can get it more tuned in on whatever this other object that is targeting, not targeting, targeting, not targeting.
That's just a 5.
Okay. It because of the debris and things that are bouncing off, it's still hard, but you're getting some kind of shape. You're not getting the shape looks kind of familiar.
Can I use a Benny?
Well, I'll offer you a Benny, or you could try and use a knowledge roll.
I would like to do that. Common knowledge? No.
I'm going to say knowledge history.
Knowledge history. I don't have that.
All right. So in this case, you'd roll the D4 and the D6.
Okay. Okay. 6 is exploding.
Keep rolling.
6, 11. So that's an 11, 12, 13. Minus 2. So
So
11.
So you try some of the tricks you normally do in your lab when you're trying to get a better angle on something, even though you're used to working with really small DNA and so forth. But you
Mhm.
realize you could bounce a couple of the signals off a piece of the material to get a better imaging. And what comes up, which sends a slight chill to your heart, because it's a part of the history for all Martian children, as they talked about the war that and conflict that happened between Earth and Mars when Mars declared its independence. It's an old defense satellite. It looks like for some reason it's no longer in Mars orbit. It's probably been drifting out here since the war.
Back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
What do you see? Can I back
Defense
up?
satellite, back up. Uh, Back the ship up. Move the ship. Get the ship out of orbit of this.
I'll try. I'm gonna try to back up. I don't know if I can because
We
it's
don't
still
have the
fixing.
thrust just yet.
Yeah.
Because as you're doing this, you discover, yeah, you can get a number of the systems up, but because of the debris, because of whatever hit you, whether it fired on you, you're not sure. You got to go outside to repair some of the systems
We have to go outside.
as you're getting a failure, as a failure alarm is going off on a couple of the relay components for the maneuvering system. Yeah, you could try and just turn the thrusters on and just get the ship moving, but can you get it moving fast enough that this thing won't target you and get a lock?
All
Or
right.
can you maneuver your ship far enough out of the way and out of the range of this thing so that you can then turn on that thrust?
We have to go
And
outside if we want to move faster.
that is where we're going to take our break. Hello, all. Welcome back to the reunion of threads set in the Expanse universe using the Savage World system. So when we briefly left, we had ourselves in a little bit of crisis as we discovered that our ship, the Mommy Water, being helmed by our three characters here, is being targeted by an old Martian defense satellite, which is targeting them, but not targeting them, targeting them, but not targeting, as they tried to figure out what they needed to do to get the thrust gravity back on to save the captain. So, as the realization of those things dawn on you, Pax, you're standing on Lunar Station at the Earth's observation port, looking from the surface of the moon down at the Earth. The blue pearl, although kind of looks a little muddy, that brought in your ancestor came from. On your comm is a message from your beloved back on Mars. What was that message, Hazel? Oop,
Things have
can't
gotten
hear
really
you.
dangerous. But you and everything that you have learned, you're going to be able to use it to unlock some great unknown. Wait to hear all about it. Be safe there. Be brilliant. I love you.
I send back a message just saying, I love you.
Pause you there. I'm going to pause
Oh.
you there for that second. Just a second. I know you're going to send a message, which is good. But you're standing there just listening to that with Earth in the background. Sway, you've exited the transport that has brought you to the moon. As you walk your way through the bustling crowd, trying to find this docking port in the ship that you're going to go to. But before that, you find yourself at the observation deck. The Earth, place you just left, is in view. As you step up next to another person who is listening to a message on their comm, as Pax, you record,
I love you.
you
That's it.
sense that a woman, or someone, sorry, you sense that someone has just stepped up next to you. What does she see, Sway?
Pretty, isn't it? For the most part, from here.
Describe yourself, Sway.
Sway has two bright yellow afro poofs, like curly afro poofs. Probably in this day, it doesn't actually have to wear glasses, but enjoys wearing them. She remembered looking through picture books of like before they advanced where they could just kind of nip things like that in a bud. People were wearing glasses, and as such, she kind of it makes her feel whimsical and reminds her of some pleasant parts of her childhood. And she looks out of place, not in like an abnormal way, but a kind of like nervous energy vibrates around her.
And as you say that, having just heard I love you being recorded by the person next to you as you turn, what does Pax look like?
Pax is quite tall, um, heading in the direction of 6 foot, not quite there. Um, very lean, live, uh, dark skin. Standing almost militaristically, but very clearly shaking in the hands that are holding the communicator. And very much trying not to like really look, like looking, definitely looking, but doing that look in the like, hey, if I cross my eyes slightly, then it's all blurry and it's not scary and I'm not afraid and it's fine. And they're very much biting a lip because they are nervous as hell.
And you've heard the comment about the Earth is pretty, but as
Mm,
this very frantic, nervous person who probably also is biting their lip glances over at you.
yeah. And the comment means that they have to actually look and observe it. And they do. Pax looks, and it's so blue. Like not a perfect blue, not the blue that they imagine that Mars could be, but it's blue. And so that's what they say. It's just it's so blue.
It's my first time off of Earth. My first time seeing her like this.
Me
I mean,
too.
like, not from like a monitor, but you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you live there? You're an Earther.
Entire life till now.
What's it like?
Oh, I don't get sick really when I walk around it. For starters, that was really different. Well, good thing I packed meds because I needed them. And I can just breathe, which I guess I haven't really thought about how convenient that is to think about breathing necessarily. Like I'm just air is air.
What does it smell like?
That depends on what parts. As a doctor, a lot of like sweat and um, bodily fluids, a lot of like natural musk, where like day in and day out, and I tend to
Do
work more
Earthers
so
not
with the
clean?
elderly and stuff, but oh, like when people are cooking and all the scents mixed together, or a really nice day and you're near flowers in the areas that can, you know, have them. Like, it's nice. I don't know. I don't really analyze the smells, I suppose, unless I'm like thinking, oh, this is sickly sweet. Something's clearly up with this person's sugar, or um, things like from that standpoint. I'm a doctor.
Oh, uh,
Yeah.
I'm a biologist.
Cool. Uh, question for the field coordinator?
Flight controller.
Flight controller. I was gonna get there. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, would I immediately recognize like Pax as being a Martian?
Not necessarily, although you notice the style of dress. Little different manufacturing and draping than what you normally see on Earth.
Have you've never been to Earth?
Martian.
Oh, tell me about Mars.
It is clean and hopeful.
It's clean. There's probably not a lot of sickness, huh?
No, we have technology for that.
Like you mean you
We
don't
take
have
care of our people.
doctors?
We do.
Okay.
I'm not one. The everything we do is based on what Earth is. And we know that we don't want some of the things that you have.
Sometimes Earth doesn't really want some of the things it has.
We know.
Sometimes someone just decides a thing that's there doesn't even have to be there anymore, and it doesn't matter how many people uh, disagree with that sentiment.
Why do you stay?
It's funny, like my family,
Mhm.
they've always kind of had this I was born here, I'll stay here kind of mentality to them. And honestly, I've always worked very hard for the people around me, and seeing the benefit of my hard work uh, has a gravity to it that anchors me in place in a way. But I'm here now, so I guess I'm no longer qualified to answer what makes someone stay, because I've left. Albeit I don't mean permanently, but
Oh, you want to go back?
there are some things that are worth being there for. A lot of things, I think. Like love.
You can
I mean,
find
I
love.
wasn't listening. I just it when I walked up, I caught sorry.
It's fine. You can find love anywhere. I wouldn't say that's a good enough reason to looks back at Earth, looks away from Earth.
Love's a good enough reason for anything. But I definitely would never that it's a rational reason. That's probably the biggest difference between Earth and Mars.
Yes.
Oh, uh, Sway Weaver.
Pax. Weaver.
Uh-huh.
Pax. Weaver.
Huh.
At the moment you hear over the PA system, all flights are presently delayed on launch due to the arrival of the Martian fleet for Earth talks. All flights will be suspended for at least an hour until they have cleared proper airspace. We apologize for the delay and will announce as soon as those clearances have happened. Again, flight delays have been called as Earth space is on delay as Martian fleet has arrived for peace talks. All flights are delayed for at least the hour.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Are we here for the same reason?
Gotta be. I mean, it can't be a coincidence. It said, oh, I got told that the opportunity had something to do with uh
Genetics.
family. Yeah, genetic that way. Huh.
Yes.
Why I guess I'm maybe I everyone was just so about Earth and staying there. It's just I guess maybe I forgot. There's like what was it? What did they say? The Wayward Weaver. So there really is there's weavers on Mars.
There are weavers on Mars, and we are happy there.
Good.
You should visit. It's
I
not
like
what it
that.
will be. It's not what it will be yet, but you can see it.
Anyone who's gonna pull off a miracle, it's y'all.
Correct.
We'll pause there for the moment. Ariadne, you're on board the Mamawata as she is docked at Lunar Station. You're waiting for the arrival of your other two cousins. Where are you on the ship, or are you on the station? What are you doing right now?
I think she's probably on the station. Just stretch her legs a bit.
Feeling
But
the gravity.
right, it's very rare that she could just be her with herself for a moment. Whenever she's on the ship, her quarters are not large. And the irony is, though, she's walked around the station for about 2 minutes before she's found a little bench, folded herself into it, and started sketching in her little sketch pad.
What are you sketching?
If anyone passes by, they will see that, the page that she's opened her sketch pad on, forming into shape, is a small, smiling African woman with a headdress made of seashells.
As the two weavers at the lunar observation center make a comment, it's like, so where are we supposed to meet this ship? As you begin to make your way down towards one of the docking rings, even though you know it's going to be an hour before you're allowed to leave, and you're walking through it, decide to maybe get a coffee as you're beginning to exchange the aspects of what Mars is like, what Earth's like. Give both of you give me notice rolls.
4, 3.
Four in total.
Okay.
Gosh, my dice.
As you are noticing, you're feeling a little dry here. I mean, it's been a long journey. As you reach down to pull the lotion out and start applying, your eyes just barely catch the page of a young woman sitting across from you and across the kiosk, across the concourse, sitting on a bench. When you see just the barest structure of what she's drawing, that's the face that was behind Hazel. That was the face of the strange woman who appeared to you on Mars.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Um, who who is that you're drawing?
Oh, just something I saw in the vision, I think.
A vision.
Right. You must think I'm crazy, but
Yes.
you think I'm crazy? Well, people always say I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm kind of used to it by now.
What do they see as they're looking at you?
So they see this young woman who looks to be in her early 20s, who has the physique of a Tim Burton character, lanky on the side of string bean. She's got this wavy, like silvery sort of bobbed haircut with a beanie on top, and wearing a jumpsuit that's about two sizes too big for her. And she's about 5'10" ish, which makes it even more awkward occasionally when you see her kind of folded herself into this bench, like cross-legged, and using her like knee as a prop to like put the sketch pad on as she's continuing to draw. And she has definitely like elements of Asian descent, by the look of her. Do you know what this is? I was imagining maybe she's some sort of ancient deities from the earth or something like that. I couldn't recognize her, but I saw her and she's so beautiful. I had to start drawing her.
Where did you see her?
Oh, well, the on Sirius station.
I saw her on Mars.
You saw her too.
There's no way we're all having the same hallucination in different locales at different times.
You saw her too?
I
You
did.
saw her too.
Yeah.
Maybe she's some sort of premonition, or she's some sort of oracle that we all saw because something was about to happen.
Maybe it's some sort of rogue technology or something. I never. She didn't speak, and I never tried to, like, touch her.
But when she looked at you, when she smiled at you, it felt like home.
There was a
Yes.
familiarity from her towards y'all, to you each.
Yes.
The feeling of a dream, a long dream coming true.
Um, well, I'm Ariadne, by the way, Ariadne Weaver.
So, so you're the one we were trying to find. I'm Pax Weaver.
Sway Weaver.
You're the ones they told me they found my distant family. You're the ones.
Yeah. So you're a belter?
Right. Well, born out of nowhere and living out of nowhere, hoping to find somewhere to extend my root towards, as opposed to being tumbleweed all my life.
Well, probably not down there.
I don't know what's going on there, but I think we've been delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. I never realized. Oh, another detail I forgot to mention. You also do see around Ariadne's neck there is this really long scarf that looks completely out of place with the rest of her outfit. It's knitted with different stitches that looks like names on it with different languages on top.
Are you cold?
No, no,
Why are
I'm
you
actually quite
wearing
warm.
why are you wearing that?
Oh, your name might be on top on it actually. I never know. This is I think my great aunt Florence started this, and for generations I've been continuing stitching on top of it every weaver we can track down all across the galaxy.
Whoa.
And when you hold this out, and you can see where it started, the fabric has been repaired multiple times, but you can see the name Florin Weaver, and just below that, or should I say next to that, Bishop and Jameson. And actually above that is Roberta and Elliot.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Oh, I've just been told to hold on to it and protect it with my life because it's in my blood, I think.
This is so overwhelming, but in a good way.
You two are both so beautiful. I don't really see so many Earthers and Martians, I think. That's where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Very often. It's it's wild to think of that I can possibly have family from both of those places that constantly try to be at each other's throat.
Yeah.
Talks today, right?
Yes.
I have hope. Maybe we could just get back together and be a family again.
Is that how it works?
Well, that's what I believe. My wife always says I'm delusional, you know.
Maybe you are.
It's
Well,
better to be delusional than be you lose hope altogether, I think.
I was honestly starting to think that I was gonna run out of a bit of hope. Uh, but something like this is a once in a multi-generational lifetime, I suppose.
Something of a miracle, I'd say. Those things do happen.
It wasn't Mars. It's Lunar Station. He beat us to the miracle.
Hmm.
Or we all
It's
three are miracles.
maybe the fact that there are ties between us. I suppose that is a miracle that we still have that connection, I suppose.
It
Hmm.
must be like fate. Like in that story where Clotho spins the yarn and the Lachesis hold on to it. And what's the third one's name? She was snip at it, and we all connected through the entirety of history.
Sure.
You love stories, huh?
I love stories, especially the ones that are come from the earth. That's that's all of our home, as far as I'm concerned, I think.
Now you're talking like the weavers I know.
Have you heard of the story of Odysseus, where he tries his best to return home and he does it?
Yeah.
No.
Bet you'd do a better job of telling it than I would. It seems recent for you.
My wife would disagree. She's a little bit upset that I spent the majority of my earning to trade books. Bit of a
Books.
useless investment, I'd say.
Actual books?
They come around very rarely, but they do still
Paper?
exist.
Paper books?
Sometimes they come in the form of paper, sometimes discs, sometimes a device, and you can read stories off of it. Sometimes books comes in the way of recordings and drawings.
Do you have any?
They'll be back on the ship in your berth.
Could I see one?
Of course. Yeah, I'll show you my favorite book.
All right.
I've been trying it this entire time, but I've got it. Earlier you said yarn, and you have this beautiful scarf, and it's weaved, and we're the weavers, and it tickles me. I find it really, really amusing. I just had to share it.
Well, my mother, when she always told me that as a weaver we must live up to our name, and she taught me how to weave at a young age, and I find it soothing naturally. Suppose it's in the name.
You sound like
You
me
love
in my lab.
stories, which are yarns. Oh my goodness.
Well, the book that's my favorite, I'll show you in a bit, but it's about a man who tries to fight a windmill on a horse, and she
Mhm.
tries to win his love, and he's a bit of a crazy, and but that's why we love him.
I'd like to see that.
Of
I can't
course.
I'd
think
like
of a
to read
better
that.
way to pass an hour.
And with that, you all, Aeronauty, you begin to lead them towards the berth where the mommy water is, your transport. And as you enter, the three of you, the hallway leading up to the airlock for the door, you all see her standing in the doorway, looking at the three of you, smiling.
Do you see what I see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are
And with
you?
that, she just lifts her hand, reaching out towards you.
Hold up a hand.
I'll head towards her.
I'll follow slightly behind y'all.
Yep. Following suit.
As you approach her with her hand out, that's when the doors behind her pop open, and Captain, what's his name? Simone Rosa, the captain of the ship that is lying right now on your medical bay, is standing there saying, just kind of as he's looking at you all strangely as you're all approaching, reaching for this woman. Uh, hello? Uh, is everything all right? I'd like to welcome you to my ship. As you can see, this sort of stoutly built uh, Latino man greeting you there. Ariadne, is everything all right?
Oh, right, of course. Captain Rosa. These are these are my family.
You're wait, you're all weavers?
Yes.
Surprise.
Where did she go?
Where did who go?
Not again.
The
Never mind. No one. No one. Really.
Never mind.
Well, even though we're going to be here for a bit, we're trying to get our pre-flights set up so that we can leave as soon as possible, so I can deliver you. Thanks for the job, Ariadne, but so we can deliver you to Titan.
Right. That's where we're going.
Right. Now, I should let you know, we're a very small crew, so this is not a luxury trip. I mean, I'm a small freighter and so forth. So even though, yeah, you are my passengers, I'm going to be frank, you're going to also have to pull your weight on board the ship. So that's helping out with, say, moving things, helping out with the cooking, um, occasional cleaning, but otherwise, it's going to be a few days to get all the way out to Titan. But we can make it if you're also willing to put in. And I also expect, as Ariadne will tell you, when I give you an order, I don't expect any guff back. Your life will depend on it, and your life's my responsibility.
As long as
Yes,
you don't
sir.
remind me how terrible a cook I am.
Well, I guess that's why Athena does most of the cooking. How are you two at cooking?
I'll pull my weight in other ways, please.
Well, we'll see how you
Yes.
do, especially when dealing with the stuff we have to cook out here in the belt.
Like what?
Oh, but hey, there, if you're willing, I guess you're on the galley duty first. Let me show you, and I'll show you where to berth your stuff as he steps out of the doorway and gestures into his ship.
I follow. Unsure of my cooking skills.
They are terrible. It doesn't really make a difference if that makes you feel any better.
I don't know. Red kibble is kind of pretty good sometimes. He says as the doors close to the ship and we see him laying on your table, Sway, in the medical bay, as you've just heard Pack say, we need to get away.
All right. Abraham, let's try and delay just a few more minutes here. If we're about to accelerate our, if this is rocky, when we're doing a blood transfusion, it's not just the captain in danger. It's the both of you in danger. And I need to avoid that.
He nods. So, well, at least for the moment, he's stable. He's going to need the blood soon, but we can delay a bit. You know, I'll stay with him if you want to check in with the others. We need a plan to get out of here.
We have to get out of here. We have to go outside and patch the things. If you could handle this, I'll
Me?
go.
Handle this here?
Well, someone will need to be here and keep an eye on the console.
And what
We'll have
needs
to we'll have to communicate with each other.
what needs to be done
I think there are
out
things
there?
that are damaged outside that can only be repaired.
Wang! As you feel the ship shudder slightly as a piece of debris hits the side of the ship, followed by several more. And there's just a vibration that moves through.
Okay.
I think that's the only way.
Okay.
I can support you as best I can, Pax.
Wait. I'm not going out there.
On the console.
Okay. Yes, I can do that. What do you need to monitor?
Well, I don't actually know. I don't know the science part of it.
So you pull up the panel that shows what you got to do the repairs and showing where the basic maneuvering points are. Pax, Make me a smarts roll.
Please be high. I don't want to go outside. Okay. 12.
Okay. So you can see the basic maneuvering controls that are coming up, and you should be able to, in this jerry-rigged control panel here on the engineering panel, to be able to, press this button to blast for this thruster, point this thruster, that thruster. You should be able to do it. Actually, it's kind of similar to what you have to do when you're doing some of the fine-tuning maneuvering when you're looking inside your microscope to get the pointers and the adjusters into the DNA that you're doing the splicing with.
Yes.
It's very similar. I mean, obviously yours is much more finely tuned, but the
Mm,
principle is the same.
the principles are there. I think I can follow this. Yes.
Right.
As you
Then
are
Definitely
looking at
can.
it, you can see there's several more pieces of debris that are coming this way. So whatever you're going to do, you're also going to have to maneuver the ship with those maneuvering thrusters to avoid that debris and get you guys far enough back or far enough forward to get past whatever the sensor range is for this satellite.
from her assessment,
Mhm.
what is I my understanding is there's something that we need to do from the outside of the ship that will help expedite this,
Right.
right?
You need to go and repair one of the relay controls so that when that is repaired, these systems that are right now on your screen can start controlling the maneuvering thrusters. Because what I'm going to go ahead and just give you this piece of information. Because of the way this thing is, it's not targeting the debris. So if you can drift the ship like a piece of debris away from this and out of its range, you can probably get the thrusters back online without risking of it shooting at you.
Right.
Right now, the ship is reading as debris.
Okay.
No active heat signature, no active radiation signature from the Epstein drive.
Right. The best thing we can do is I can't ask either of you to go outside. You not really. Is this is this a first space voyage?
Yeah.
Right. Um,
But listen,
very
I've
much.
done surgeries. I I I can describe the location and micro adjustments. I can describe that. PAX can read and work the console, and you can take Professor Hopper and click it and clip it on you for good luck.
Thanks.
We can do this. I really don't think we have a choice.
What if what if you take care of Pistachio for me for now? And she will take out the little stuffed Triceratops, put it in your hands. Um, I'll go out there and just tell me everything is going to be all right and calm, and we got this.
Everything is going to be all right.
We are weavers. We are going to stitch this thing together.
We're going to stitch this thing together.
It will be well sutured.
Right.
So your next challenge before you can get to that is you need to get to the environmental suits that are stored now in the vacuumed out cargo bay before you can go outside.
Ah,
So there's the puncture wounds to the hull that are still venting atmosphere down there.
Right.
We
Well,
can't
if
Now,
we
you
flip
know
the
there's a
ship
patch
without the
kit.
suits.
Yeah, Ariadne, you know the patch kits, and there's stuff that, but you've got to get through that vacuum that now exists in the cargo bay to get to your pressure suits.
you can't do that alone.
someone, if someone would come with me, if I pass out, you can just drag me back.
Now, Sway, give me a medical knowledge.
Five and five.
Okay. So you're aware in general there is a substance basically called liquid oxygen. It's an item that's stored carried in spaceships that essentially will pump um, oxygen into the blood. It's an injection. It's used for emergency people who've had emergency exposure or had unplanned exposure to the outside that will oxygenate the blood. Kind of like almost like a heart lung machine, but just smaller in this ampule. It's only used for short bursts, kind of like giving someone an EpiPen.
Wait, okay. I got really panicked actually about doing this, and I just tried to learn every single thing I could about being on a spaceship. We the injection, the oxygen injection. The ship has to have one, right?
Yeah, you got several, and as she's describing this, Ariana, you understand what she's getting at.
Right.
You could enter this vacuum with that, and the moment you start getting lightheaded, you could inject yourself with that long enough to either patch the repair kit or get into the spacesuit.
That should work.
Don't
Okay.
be a hero. Get in the suit.
I don't know about being a hero, but it's the only thing we can do.
Okay. I'll monitor from here.
Can I use a Benny to? Oh, you're gonna have to yourself. I won't be in
Mhm.
there with you. Okay.
But you can
Oh,
go to the
good
door
luck.
with them
Thanks.
and then come back to the console. You can ensure that they make it through and into the suit.
Yes.
And
Okay.
besides, someone else is going to have to open the door.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So, Sway, Ariadne, you make your way down to the cargo hold, stopping briefly in the medical section to pick up the oxygenated blood uh, dosage, and go down to the airlock where Abraham had been earlier. Because of it, Abraham checks in with you. Because he was already in the process of at least putting on one of the suits, he gives you the suit that he was going to be wearing, which wasn't exactly yours. So it's a little large and bulky. So that cuts down on what you're going to have to do to get in fully kitted up. So that's going to give you a +1.
Okay.
But once you get down there and Sway, as you're aware that you're about to open up a vacuum. So this is going to start sucking air from where you are. So you're going to need to brace yourself so that when the door is open, or you're going to need to brace both of yourselves because there's going to be suction. As Ariadne, you enter the cargo hole, and Sway has to close the door behind you. So, are you ready to go?
Can Ariadne find like a rope or some sort of
Mhm.
thing
Oh yeah, you got
to
those in the stores.
kind of tie her ankle with the suit already on
Mhm.
to right inside of the vacuum?
Mhm. So you
I want
explain
to be.
to
Yeah.
Sway how to open the door and close it.
Just as soon as I'm done, I might need your help pulling myself out of there and then just close it.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've got those ropes. I'll. Okay.
Right. Okay. Count to three.
And I would say we're. This is a ship. Like we could probably
Mhm.
set up like a winch or like a pulley system to help out with
Mhm.
this.
Mhm. You want to do that first? Okay, so go ahead and give me a smarts roll to see if you guys can set that up. Of course, the MacGyvering and Jill of all
5.
trade will work in your favor as well, Ariadne.
Uh, Actually, can I use a Benny?
Sure, that will
I
be
like Benny
success.
for success.
Yep. Okay, so you got one success. You're able to set up the winch that will act because once you open it, it's going to be the suction sound, suction in there. Now you have a choice of walking in with your gravity boots or kicking them off and let the lack of gravity pull you in to the space with the, of course, tether from the winch.
Right. And allowing the gravity would hasten the movement, I imagine.
Yeah, you'd basically be floating, so you'd be sucked in
Yeah.
like a piece of paper into a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. I'll do that just to speed up the process because speed is essence, I think, right now.
All right. So, Sway, you punch in the code. With that last button press, you will open this door. Do you do it? You
Yes.
press it. There's a whir of the engine of the internal mechanism as the bulkhead slides open, and then the inner door as the suction begins to pull at both of you. So even though so you're going to get a +1 from the cabling and cording you set up, but I need strength rolls from both of you to see how you're handling the suction.
Okay.
Is there anything I could be doing to support from where I am?
You could probably, because of the controls, you could actually close one of the other internal bulkheads so that not a lot of atmosphere is going to be lost from the other section of the ship.
That is what I would like to do.
Okay, so give me the your smarts roll to be able to close one of the other bulkheads.
It's an 8 for me.
Okay.
9.
All right. So you are both securely positioned as much as possible. When the door comes in open and the suction pulls in, Ariadne, you just fly in. Um, because you were prepared for it and the way you were holding the rope doesn't snap tight around your ankle, so it doesn't break it in the process. But you are in this space full of dealing with the suction, and you can see there is a widening hole in the side just above the main airlock leading outside. That's where you got to patch it if you want to be able to stabilize this area, or you're going to have to maneuver because again, it's sucking atmosphere out to get over to the locker with the air with the kits, with
Yeah.
the suits.
I gotta get a suit on before I can do anything else. If I can get a suit on, I can patch the ship and then we can come back and deal with this. So she's
Okay.
gonna go focus on getting a
Oh,
suit on.
hang on. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Uh, Sway, you close the door behind her. Okay. So,
I rolled an
Pax.
18.
Okay. Yeah. Pax, you were able to close the bulkheads, but you're getting also the alarms as the venting and loss of atmosphere is coming up as well. You're able to recycle to start bringing the atmosphere because also that's the atmosphere that Sway is losing once that door
Yes.
closed. So you're pumping more oxygen back in as soon as Sway gets the door closed.
Yes.
And Sway, you can feel it coming out of your lungs as that happened, as you were panting to get the door closed. And you take in more deep breaths as the door closes and you hear the hiss of more of the atmosphere coming in to fill your lungs as well.
This was so dangerous. This was so dangerous. This is still dangerous.
Can I hear that from
Yep.
like the comms are open?
Yep. Oh, yeah. You're very much hearing that.
Slow breath out. Arthur, you're gonna use up all the oxygen. Let's just slow breath out. Slow breath in.
Ariadne, as you are in the weightlessness, feeling the pull of the breach there, I need strength rolls to see if you can hold on to what's in the cargo bay to make your way over towards the locker.
All right.
And then I also want a vigor roll to see how you're doing on holding your breath. So, whichever one you want to do first.
That's a 7 for the strength.
Okay. So you are pulling your way across using whatever's already strapped down in the cargo bay towards that locker.
And a 7 for vigor.
You're because of your time, because of your experience out there, you are rationing that breath that you've got as long as possible to get closer and closer to that locker. And Sway, you're watching through the doorway as you see Ariadne clawing, grabbing, moving with almost inside an elegance as they're getting closer and closer to the locker. I'm going to roll something here.
Never good.
So you got a 4. So you're getting closer and closer to the locker. And thankfully, you did portion out the rope just enough, but you're only about 4 inches away of it before that cord goes taut against your ankle because it's locked in the doorway when the bulkhead's sealed. You're going to have to untie yourself from that to finish getting closer to the locker.
All
As you are
right.
holding on to your breath.
A face of faces. It is. Right. Think. Don't breathe. One fix at a time.
Give me another vigor roll
Okay.
as you are untying yourself from that tether.
What is
Oh,
she
that's
doing?
good. That's good. Um, that's a 13.
Okay. You can feel your breath starting to go, but it's like the liquid oxygen is with you. And as you're starting to just feel a little lightheaded, you reach down, pull that out, and jam it into your into the carotid artery on your arm, and you feel the burst of it into your system as okay, you got some oxygen. Even though it's not in your lungs, you can feel the oxygen inside of you as your vision starts to clear a bit more, and you can see you got maybe another minute to finish getting stressed in that suit.
Come on, Ariadne.
The way
She's
you
not.
see you see them jab the liquid oxygen into their arm.
She's not opening her mouth because she wants to not breathe as much as little as she can. But she's in her head and she is reciting to herself, I'm standing in the presence of Zeus himself and take my fill of ambrosia, food of God, as I trace the winding to and fro of the heavenly bodies moving in space. And sort of reciting that as she tries to put everything together and try to make her way back.
Sway, from where you are, you're watching as Ariadne opens the cabinet and begins again effortlessly. So this is one of the qualities of someone who has been built, who is born amongst the belt, someone who has lived in low gravity to no gravity, someone who this is their element. And like a ballet performance, you're watching as these pull the various pieces out and straps them on till last you see them put the helmet on and get it seated. And there's a moment for you, Ariadne, as you hear the hiss of the oxygen from the air bottle fill your helmet as the seal locks. And you can hear now over the comms.
Step 1 done. Okay.
As you guys hear her breathing.
Okay. That's good. Good step. Good job. Good job.
That's
I
done.
could have
Can you block
never
it?
have done that.
Can you block it?
I'll try.
Fixing the air seal is the hull breach isn't second nature, but you're gonna have to take a few moments to do that.
Yeah. Let's go fix the thing.
So within a couple of minutes, you're able to put a temporary patch that will help allow this area then to be pressurized.
Can I start that process as soon as
You
it's
well, you want to, but first things first. She now needs to go outside.
Yeah.
Once she's outside and closed, then you could pressurize it. The other option, though, is to leave it unpressurized and open to give her the best chances of getting back in as quickly as possible, and not also losing more of the oxygen that you've already lost because of this. Which,
If we leave
as
it
you're
unpressurized, no one else can go in and help.
correct,
Yeah, we're gonna pressurize.
all right, before or after they go outside.
After.
Okay. So once you've got the repair fixed, then you open Ariadne the doors to space, and you can see out into the black, out into the space, and you can see pieces of the debris floating by. And in that moment, as you're beginning to step out, that's when you see a body float by, slowly turning their face in a rigor as they were struggling for breath.
Are they still alive?
No.
Sway, while they're outside, put on a suit. I'm gonna pressurize it, okay?
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but there's someone dead out here.
Ignore that for now. Get the repairs done.
All right. Here we go.
Clunk, clunk, as you step out of the airlock and your gravity boots latch onto the side of the mummy water. Free floating spaces all around you. The only thing right now, other than this debris that's in your field, is the horizon that is the Mamiwata. You can feel the rumbling as the doors close behind you and seal, as Pax triggers that. Now becomes your journey to head to the relay. And step by step, as you make your way along the length towards the relay, Sway. Once the doors close, you can hear the hiss, and the bulkhead releases as the pressure inside the cargo bay equalizes.
I step inside and do my best to get into the suit.
Give me an agility roll.
Oh no.
Well, give me an agility roll because this is, even though again you've dealt with people bleeding out on a table, but this is something new. And then also a spirit roll to see how you're doing with that composure. So give me the spirit roll first, and then we'll deal with the agility.
8
Okay.
on
So,
the agility.
okay.
And D8 on my spirit. 7, 2, 9 on spirit.
Okay. Wait. 7 on the which die?
My main die, the D8.
Okay, so then you got a 7. You're good. If the 2 is on the exploding die, no, we just count the 7. But that's a success. As it takes you a few moments to get yourself under control. But yeah, you understand this is no different than putting on PPE to go into a person's room who's been exposed to radiation or in a high infection. Similar principle, different application, but similar principle.
Yeah. Stops all of the air from being sucked out of my lungs in the event of a depressurization. That's okay.
Correct?
I'm headed back your way, Pax.
Or do you want to
Take
stay in?
that just in case.
Okay. So we'll need to co-navigate once the repairs have been made.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to
Point.
stay in the non-airlock portion though, so you can
Yes, please,
shut those
please.
doors. But I
Yes.
can.
Ariadne, you're continuing to make your way across the surface. Give me an agility roll to see how you're doing dodging debris that's around you.
Okay. Um, that's a 3.
Ooh. As you take one step, a piece of debris hits you.
Oh no.
Phew, you're in luck. Your other boot was properly seated down as you are basically doing kind of the Matrix bending, dodge bulling pose, but everything is right now pulling on that one leg to keep you attached to the ship.
She
And
can
it
taste
hurts.
she can taste the blood from her lower lip as she's chewing down on it.
And you all hear over the comms the oomph as
Are
that
you all
piece
right?
hits you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay. Um, are there cameras that I can keep a lookout?
Yes.
I will activate those. Um, but I am agoraphobic, so trying to do this is going to be a problem. Um, but I will keep a lookout as well as I can.
So
Can
between the
you
camera
patch the
and
feed
the
to my comms?
Yes, can I? Yes, I'll
yes,
try.
well, you got the audio feed. You don't have the video feed.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't give you the video, but I can give you the audio. It's okay. We're gonna be fine.
So between the cameras and the lidar system, you can see pieces that are coming, so you'll be able to warn them when to duck. But there's going
Yes.
to be a delay between switching between the lidar to the camera itself.
Okay.
As Ariadne, you can right yourself and continue and lock that another boot in and continue working your way over towards the relay.
And
So,
I
Pax, go
think
ahead and give me a notice roll.
Ten.
All right, you see at least two more pieces that are coming towards Ariadne that you're able to warn them about, and you get the response, the warning to be able to duck out of the way, which doesn't delay you any further as you make your way over to the damaged assembly. You can see the piece of shrapnel that lodged into this junction point and the relay. You should be able to pull it out. It's a large piece, probably about the size of a bowling ball, but it's sharp and angular. So go ahead and make me a strength roll to try and pull that piece of debris out.
okay. In the calm, you're just beginning to hear this very like almost like a whispery, quiet hum. That Ariane is kind of good, just going to dream the impossible dream, to find the unbearable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and so forth. That's a 7.
Okay. So you yank that piece out and it flies away from you as you look down on this piece and into the area you're going to have to do repair. Pax,
Yes.
that alarm system goes off. Targeting, targeting, no target, target, no
It's
targeting,
targeting.
targeting. And at which point, Ariadne, as you look up, you can see the satellite off in the distance. It's tracking. And you see a port open.
Oh
and
no.
its starts tracking, but it's moving away from you and the ship, and it's heading towards that piece you just flung away from you. It's moving
Huh.
fast enough compared to the rest of the debris that you see a flash of light as the lasers on it pulse, and that piece that was above you just shatters into pieces.
I think we're all right. Maybe we're
I
not
think
the
you
target.
don't rush back.
As those pieces shatter, several of them rain down on you. And you hear a whistle inside your suit as something strikes you. Pressure loss, pressure loss, pressure loss, pressure loss.
Get
All
back.
right.
Come back.
Let's just fix this really, really quickly, shall we?
Are you
I'm gonna try to
sure?
fix. Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix it really quickly.
Okay. So you're going to focus on repair. So give
Yeah.
me the smarts and your repair roll to begin working on this relay. Sway, you're hearing all of this.
Sway, be prepared.
And Sway, give me a smarts check, please.
Okay, that's 6. Okay, the explode was a 1, and
Okay.
then
So you got a 6, so that's enough.
wild's also a 6.
Oh, keep rolling the
Oh,
wild.
yeah, and then that also explodes. 2.
Okay, so you have at least an 8. So what you see in that cabinet when you were putting on your spacesuit is a patch pair and a replacement air bottle.
Patch in here. If you're losing pressure in the suit, you need to come and patch it. That's faster. It gives you more time to work on the repairs. You're racing against the clock here, and I don't like the odds.
Okay.
The other option is you could go bring it to them.
Because I am reliable, I would say, you know what? I'll come to you. We can't risk it. Just tell me what to do. How do you spacewalk?
It's like you're dancing. It's like you let the space let yourself be held by it, and you just have to trust it.
Swimming. Have you swum? Have you been in water like that?
I love swimming.
It's like that.
Once I'm all suited up, I'm ready for the doors.
Pax, you release the doors to the airlock. Sway,
Yeah.
you're looking out at the black. You can see just maybe the just barest twinkles of the most distant stars. Maybe even just that aspect of what some would say is the reddish pink light of the core of the galaxy in the far, far distance. Space is vast. There's nothing for you to set a horizon line on.
I have an internal horizon line. I have family that needs me. Need them.
And you step out onto the hull, hearing that as your boot magnetically locks onto the edge.
Focus on my voice, Sway. You will be like Persephone. She survived the darkness, the underworlds. You're gonna do very well in space as well.
As your second foot comes down.
And who's your favorite story character?
As you take your
Odysseus is
next
your
step.
favorite story. Is he your favorite character?
Oh, I have to say, it's actually Medusa. I thought she's quite misunderstood, actually.
Pax, make me a notice roll.
That's a 1 on my D8 and a 3 on my 6. That's a 4.
You're holding your breath so much with what Sway is doing. You don't notice that piece of debris that's heading straight for them.
Pax isn't even outside and they're panicking. Just quietly.
We're going to come back to that as you're having this panic moment. Sway, make me a strength roll.
And then wild. 2 on my strength die, 5 on my wild die.
Lucky for that wild die. You just see that piece of debris that's just coming towards you, and you manage to get both your feet down as it slams into you and then away.
Are you all right?
I'm okay. Wind's knocked out of me a little bit. Okay.
Max, give me a spirit roll.
It's a 7 total, 4 on the spirit die.
Yeah, you're panicking, but you're getting in control of it. This is, let's have a flashback to a moment like this with Hazel and your father. Ariadne, you'll play the father this time.
Okay.
What was that moment like?
A moment in which I'm
In your,
panicking,
yeah, and
or a
which
moment
you're
in which there is spacewalking happening.
not the spacewalking, but the panicking.
Okay.
Hazel and your father are present as well. What was that moment?
Uh, there was a time when something that I was splicing uh, turned out to be contaminated. And it just so happened that on that day, Hazel was supposed to meet me at the lab before we went. And my father knows what it is I do for work, so was there with me at the time. But there is a contamination issue now here, and it's the first time I've ever had to deal with this.
And he's on the other side of the airlock.
Mhm.
So, in this clean room environment, there you are with this contamination issue. Your father is in the airlock watching you, as Hazel is on the other side of the other airlock, watching him watch you as well. And the alarm is going off. Contamination, contamination. Seal lab, seal lab.
I don't know what to do.
Pax, focus.
I don't know what to do. I can't fix it. I can't fix it.
Breathe. Breathe.
It's all falling apart. I did everything I could to make it work, but it's just not working. And I don't know why it's doing
Pax.
this. It's not what I expected.
Pax, you've encountered the unexpected before. Research
remember?
it.
Do you remember on your 11th birthday, I think that was, you were putting together a model airship of some sort? Do you remember that?
Mhm.
And you made one mistake at the end of it, and it fell all apart.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you cried and cried, and your mother didn't really know what to do with it. After all of that crying and shouting, you just picked up one piece at a time and you started fixing it. And you put all the pieces back together. And it was better than before. Pick up one piece. Just one.
Okay. And I would pick up a scalpel. I don't know if I can fix this.
You don't have to know. Just pick up one piece. Figure out where it goes. And then look for the next one. All right?
Okay.
It's not always about fixing either. It can transform.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Okay.
There you go. Where does this piece go?
And as I start to put it back together and get all of the materials needed to deal with the contamination, Axe doesn't cry often, but they do cry while they're doing that because it is so scary just trying to do something that they are not used to having to do. That to them is the most frightening thing about the entire situation.
And as you wipe those tears that are showing up in your eyes again, you become laser focused on these displays. That agoraphobia that was always in your back of your mind, just like the beating of your heart, goes quiet. Your family is depending on you. You are a weaver. Help them weave through this debris so that you can all be together.
I'm going to
Ariadne.
try something.
Come back to that in just a second. Ariadne, you hear Sway has been hit and says that the air has been knocked out of him. You're continuing to work on the repairs, giving another repair roll.
Okay. Repair is the 8, I think, right?
Yeah, that would still be the smarts repair. With, of course, the MacGyver and Jill of all trades.
What do I add to that? So I add a.
Let's go with the MacGyver roll. I think that's a D6.
Okay. Wait, so I roll a d6 and a
Roll a second
d6
D6. Mm-hmm.
and a d8. Okay.
Yep.
$18.
Okay. So, very practiced hands and such. You are still doing these repairs as you're talking to Sway and so forth. Atmosphere at 20% and falling. Please seek immediate assistance. Atmosphere at 19%. Now, Pax, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, hold on, I'm going to try to rotate the ship just a little bit
Okay. You can
so
do
that the
that
debris
by,
doesn't hit.
yeah, you can do that by doing a controlled venting of some of the atmosphere.
Okay. I will try to do that then.
That's going to be smarts.
Okay. $11.
Okay. There's a moment where you all feel the ship shake as you begin to notice the ship beginning to turn and shift in its listing to a much clearer area where there's a little less debris. The satellite passes out of view as the rock hopper now becomes more obscuring of it, but there's definitely less debris on here as you hear as you've closed the venting that caused the ship to shift.
Are you doing all right? Sway? Pax?
First spacewalk, and we just moved a little, and I really don't want to throw up in my suit.
You're doing great. First spacewalk? That's
Slow breath.
spectacular, actually. Do you want to know what happened on my first spacewalk?
Oxygen is at 15%. You either can continue focusing on the repair or you can continue talking. You can't do both.
I think she was trying both narratively, but Sway is going to hear like the out of breathness in her voice. But the reason she continues to talk is because she figured it will kind of, in a way, keep Sway um, keep Sway's attention on like more positive things. So she's gonna try and suffer the consequences, no matter what that might be. But yeah, you tell me.
Okay.
You
Well, you're
have
going to
to
make that
do the
choice.
repairs.
This is going to
Yeah.
be another flashback moment. I think in
Oh.
this case, the first time you met Athena. So, Shao, you're going to play her rival. Both of you are trying to get attention from Athena in the bar on Cirrus the first night you each met. What was that moment like? And how did you talk up Athena?
I have 0 riz.
Okay, do you want to be the bartender then?
Please. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it so much. You a
So,
real one.
so
Look it
you're the
out.
bartender, Athena's at the bar, and you're trying to come up and shoot your shot.
Are you have you been here before?
Here's a shot for opening with that. There you go.
Thanks. I I like your, I don't know, your tattoo. What does it mean?
Bartender, another shot for this one.
Absolutely.
Oh, I've got one myself as well, and it's I
Drink them
saw
both.
it. I saw it in an old book that I found in the junkyard, and it's called the Satyr Square.
Uh, I knock back a shot. I take one. You're not drinking it. I'm gonna knock one back.
Gonna let it drink alone?
I'll take a little sip from the shot from the bartender. Well,
Oh,
I'm
dainty.
sorry. I'm a bit out of breath here.
I see. I see.
You're just making me a bit nervous, that's all.
I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Sit down.
Right.
What's your name?
Ariadne. You can call me Ari.
Mm. Althea.
I've seen you around in the dock.
A lot of people do.
You could pick up a whole piece of with just your one with just one hand. I cannot believe it.
I pretend like I'm not listening, but I knock over a glass.
I tap on the bar for another one, please.
Right away.
So, you're very small.
Right. They call me string bean, and I suppose it's
So you were talking about books. What is that? What do you mean by that? What's that about?
stories, from way back when, before Earth traversed
Why?
through space and spread across the galaxy. Before,
Why? Why do you read books?
I don't know, it made me feel like I belong somewhere. It made me feel like I had a home that's a little bit bigger than myself. Do you ever feel like that? Like when you look out into the night sky and you see a distant star just blinking at you, and you think, maybe that's where I'm from. Maybe a million years ago, I have a family calling out to me from through all of that time and space. Just a pale dot looking back at me. And you feel just a little bit less alone.
You have a lot of flowery words. A lot of words.
Oh, it's from all those books, I suppose.
I like those words.
Thanks, I suppose.
You've been here your whole life,
I was born on Sirius Station, I think. I don't remember much.
and yet you have books and stories and
Yeah, people pass
weird
us by.
uh, hopes about distant stars.
Makes me feel like I'm connected to
Have you
Earth, to
considered what
Mars.
is around us? Right here?
What's around us? What do you mean?
Nothing. That's the point.
Nothing and everything. If you just look far enough into the distance, then nothing is going to bring you something.
Anything we have, one of them are going to take. So, what keeps you looking at those books?
One of the books, well, not even the book, just a page, scrapped out of somewhere. And it says, time is not a straight line, but a circle. What came before us is going to come again.
Hmm.
They might take everything from us, but they cannot take the history from us. We're connected. All the way back to the dinosaurs. Have you ever heard of them? They are marvelous. Here. And she takes out the little triceratops that she knitted herself from little illustrated atlas or like a little encyclopedia entry from before. Can you believe it?
You made that?
And this creature, it existed
You made that?
a long time ago. Yeah.
Tell me more.
They are
The night
giants.
continues
Yeah.
as this conversation goes on. Not the story you had intended to tell, but the story that started coming out of your lips as oxygen at 3%. All this time, as that story is being told, Sway, you made your way across the ship. And you can see Ariadne kneeling, her motions more jerky as she's trying to finish these repairs as you approach with the patch kit and the spare bottle.
I will immediately get into work repairing, and that's a beautiful story. I really hope it ended with you taking Athena home, though.
Well, she's waiting for me. I hope.
As you look up into Sway's face through your helmet into theirs, Sway, give me a repair roll to repair Ariadne's suit.
Uh, I don't have a repair skill, so
So you're going to be doing that a d4 plus your wild die.
5 on the wild die, 3 on the d4.
Okay, so because it's an untrusted skill, you also lose 2 because it's untry, but you got a, what was the numbers again?
5 on wild, 3 on d4.
Okay, so your highest one was the 5, minus 2 is a 3. That's not a success.
Um, is a Benny reroll a failure or?
Or you could, well, you could reroll, use the ability to reroll.
Oh, that's. Can I add? Is this technically a support
Yeah, I'll go
action?
ahead and allow it as a support.
Okay, I get a free reroll on any support roll.
Okay, so then you have to use a Benny. Go ahead and re-roll this.
So 4 and a 2. 4
So,
on the wild, 2 on the d4.
okay, do you want to spend that Benny for an automatic success?
If I can, absolutely.
All right. So you go ahead and spend that Benny for an absolute success, which will negate those rolls. So you managed to patch the suit.
I kept
It,
trying. I'm like, you've got to walk me through this. This is not a human body.
actually, in this case, Pax, give me a smart roll to see if you can walk them through this, because at this point, Ariadne is not in space to be able to help with this.
Mm-hmm. 9 total.
Okay, so you're able to walk them through the patch repair in this situation so that stopping at 1% oxygen left.
Whew.
As you then quickly attach the new air bottle, and Ariadne, you feel the rush of fresh, strong air.
Okay. Thank you.
Takes a few moments as you're feeling that getting back into your system. You're almost done making these repairs. You're a
Okay.
little klutzy at those last few minutes because of the lack of oxygen, but now that you got that extra, you can get this repair done and you can get your guys' inside as quick as possible.
Everything will feel alright. Okay, just one at a time.
This is the scariest shit I've ever done.
You're brilliant. You're
Me too.
brilliant. You know you are.
As scary as that night before your final exams, when you and Sakura stayed up at that coffee shop as you were studying. So, Ariadne, you'll be the waitress. Uh, Pax, you're going to be Sakura.
This is a dangerous amount of caffeine to have in our bodies, just so you're aware.
We have so much work to get done. We have so much to do that actually, maybe it's not enough. Maybe the danger is not enough caffeine.
All right, kids. If you want me to bring you more refill of coffee, You need to get some carb in your system. All right. So what would it be? We have our house special today. We've got waffles with some syrups. Otherwise, you're going to burn a hole in your stomach. And that's not going to help anybody.
You're completely true. This much caffeine probably can definitely give us an ulcer,
Yeah.
which means we have no choice but to have waffles, actually. It would be,
Oh no,
right,
it would be awful.
yeah.
They say that today the kitchen's got waffles and fried chicken too.
Look, it
We
is
need fuel to
life
study.
saving fuel
A
is
little
what that
chili
is.
syrup, my own design.
I'll take it. I'm in.
Same.
One order to share, another a piece of pie, maybe the two of you.
Well, if we split it, that's half the bad parts. So
Now you're
Yes.
it's
talking.
even more healthier for us now.
Yeah, that's great. Let's do that.
So warm apple pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, the classics.
Can you sprinkle
Yes.
some cinnamon on top?
You don't even have to ask.
Yes. Okay.
Coming right up.
Done.
This very well might be my last meal if I don't pass, so
You'll be fine.
my family works so hard for me to be here. I can't. My life really will be over if I don't.
There's no way you won't pass. No way at all.
If we don't get all of this done in time, I did everything I could. Even I spoke up, I joined clubs,
You have done everything right, Sway. We're gonna be okay. That's why we're here. Burning holes in our bodies for the greater good.
do no harm unless it's to yourself, I guess.
Exactly. Hey, you got this.
We got this.
We got this. We can make it work.
I don't think we have a choice not to, so we gotta.
We do not. We absolutely do not.
All right, kids. These are some freshly made waffle, whole wheat to be healthier, and I got
Where
you a
did you
scoop of
find
ricotta
it?
cheese on top of it too. Enjoy.
Oh, healthy.
This will definitely patch that hole.
As that memory hits you, as the doors of the airlock close, as you and Ariadne are back inside the mommy water. Pax, On the console, after a few test patterns, the maneuvering thrusters are online.
Okay. How quickly was that piece of debris moving?
Give me a smarts roll.
Oh dear. Okay. I don't know. It's 7.
You have a guesstimate that you're going to have to, and also because the other debris that's floating around you is not moving at a fast speed, that gives you an advantage. You figure you're going to have to be moving at like millimeters per second.
Okay.
You can't get above, let's say, 100 millimeters per second. So you're just going to have to slowly back the ship off using the maneuvering thrusters to move. Are you going to move the ship backwards or forward?
Which takes
Well,
it away from the satellite.
right. Okay. Sorry. Three-dimensional space. So you could either move
Mhm.
forward, you could go backwards, you could go sideways.
Yeah. I would like to go diagonally away from the satellite.
Okay. So I'm going to call this one both a smarts and an agility to begin that maneuvering.
Smarts and agility.
Abraham, start prepping stuff for the transfusion.
That's a
Right away.
6
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
and
why
an
don't you
8.
start getting you back inside?
Sorry. So what was the scores?
Does this count steady hands?
Yes. Yes, it would. So that gives you a,
So
I think that's a +2.
+2. So that's a what was the first one? 4 and a 3. A 7 for
Well, it's
smarts.
actually just the 4. So they don't
Hmm?
add. They don't add. So it's just the 4.
Oh, I see. Okay, so 4 for the smarts and 4 for the agility +2, 6.
Okay. So that's enough. You begin and you guys feel the ship shifting and turning, and you begin the slow aspects of maneuvering the ship diagonally out of the debris field and away from the satellite. It's painstaking as you have to just move ever so often. You're for literally, if it wasn't for the fact that you're in space, you're moving at the smooth pace of a snail.
Is there enough thrust here that we have gravity?
No, not enough for that.
No. Okay.
But what the key thing you're looking at is the evasion, the sensor that says
Yes.
targeting, no targeting, targeting, no targeting, targeting, no targeting. As you're maneuvering the ship away from the debris field till finally no targeting and it doesn't light up
I'm gonna try and
again. By
pull
this
us
point,
away.
as you're coming up into that last bit of it, Ariadne, you've come up to the flight deck, still partially in your suit.
Are you alright?
Mhm.
Good. Alright, let's
Are
get
you?
back inside and let's get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna slip out of that pilot seat and let you take over.
You did so well.
And you say that as you hit the main thruster, and you all feel the surge as the thrust gravity the, asserts itself against you as you rocket away into the long great darkness, heading for Palace Station, which is the nearest place you can go for emergency repairs based on where your orbital trajectory is. Meanwhile, down in the med bay, Sway, you're connecting Abraham to begin a blood transfusion in to Captain Rosa. As you can see, the wounds and the patches that you put on earlier are, when they were sort of where the blood was pooling, are become lessened as you put on new patches as now there's thrust and gravity to allow the blood to continue to flow through inside of him. And with that, folks, we're going to conclude our one shot of Reunion of Threads tonight, played lovelily by our three weavers. If you're interested in more, let Apochromatic know. Maybe we can come back to show what else happens as they continue their journey to not only see if they're more than just an Earther, a Belter, and a Martian. Are they still family? So thank you again. And we want to remind you that this is, and thank you all of you folks to donate for Black Girls Rock, which you can find the connection in our chat or also on the website. We thank our sponsors, Transplaner RPG, and check out Apochromatic Unlimited on Blue Sky for updates. Good night and thank you. And where can our other people find our lovely Weaver family online as well? So we'll start with that. Ariadne.
Hi, I have been Ariadne tonight. I hope you enjoy the show. I am Ran. Once again, I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky as Burdick Inspiration or anywhere else as Rhino Riddler.
Shellcat. Or should I say Sway?
I have tonight. I have been Sway Weaver, and felt so good. And normally though, I am Shawnee of Showcat Cosplay, and if you want to see me, type in Showcat Cosplay. It'll find me on all of the socials. If there's one at it, that's what my name is on it. You can also find me at Moonforge and Brightleaf on TikTok and Etsy. That's my little small business.
Yay.
And Pax.
I have been Pax Weaver. I am Chantel Benjamin, Chantel B on pretty much everything. So if you find a Chantel B anywhere at all, likelihood it's me. But yeah, I'm an actor, writer, psychologist that is based in Sydney. So hey, drop in, say hi.
And I've been your flight controller. I'm Perry Clark, licensed marriage and family therapist in the San Francisco Bay. You can catch me over on my podcast, which is called Untying Knots, Minds and Souls Untethered, where I talk about mental health issues as well as the intersection with things like gaming and being a blurred as well. Otherwise, you can also see me over on Symphony Entertainment, as I'm occasionally a cast member on there for some of our games in the horror realm. Otherwise, again, I want to give a great thanks to Apochromatic Unlimited for this Black History Month and this opportunity for us to tell this story. So check in more and let them know if you want to see more of us. Otherwise, good night and be well. And we're still here.
Happy Black History Month!